Welcome to the Festival of Storytellers.
I can't tell you how excited I am to be on right now. It's been a couple of weeks of excitement, getting prepared, and I've done a lot of things in my life, but this has got to be close to the top.
Thank you, and ReadersMagnet, and thank you, John, for putting this forth and taking the chance on us authors in presenting this out to the world.
I've enjoyed this immensely, Joanne.
Ellie, so have I. Thank you for who you are, and thank you, ReadersMagnet. You all are beautiful, and you've worked so very hard, and we are blessed.
We are.
I thank everybody that's involved with this process, because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers. We thank ReadersMagnet and everybody that's involved. I love ReadersMagnet. They say, we share your stories with the world.
Hi there, book lovers! ReadersMagnet welcomes you as we share another story to the world. One by one, we introduce our featured authors for the upcoming second season of the Festival of Storytellers. And today, let us get to know another storyteller. His name is Clarence Causby, and his book is entitled Soul Exchange. Hi, Clarence. How are you doing?
How you doing? It's nice to see you. How you doing? How's everybody?
It's nice to see you too. We are doing great, and we are so excited to have you with us. Let's get started. And can you please introduce yourself to our dear viewers today?
Sure. My name is Clarence Causby. I'm 42 years old. I was born December 26, 1979.
And Clarence, have you always been into writing? What inspired you to start writing this book of yours?
Crazy thing was, I tried to write a story one time, completely forgot all about it. Never thought I had any talent whatsoever. And what inspired me was one day I was off of work, and it was about maybe 10 years ago. And all of a sudden, I just saw a whole bunch of images in my head, and I just got the feeling of what it was, what the images was about. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, it's nothing really. So I just passed it off. And so a few days went by, and then it came back again. And I'm like, this is weird. I'm like, whatever, it's still nothing. Came back again. I'm like, Mom, what do you think this is about? She's like, that's God telling you that you need to write the book. I'm like, oh, okay. So I started to write the book, and when I started, I fell in love with writing. I think everything, my imagination was just had exploded. I'm like, finally I get to write what I want to write. I can get to put like, everything that's in my head like on paper and be able to like to share it with the world. And I'm so excited and so grateful and so blessed for it.
So mothers know best.
Absolutely, especially
Right? So that get you started. And well, we have your book now entitled Soul Exchange. You have your book with you, right?
I do. Yes.
There you go. Right. Look at that. The cover is just so beautiful and well thought of. So let's start with that.
Yeah.
Can you
Sure.
please tell us more about the concept that you have when it comes to the cover of your book?
So it was weird. I was because I hadn't really thought about the cover. I hadn't thought about the title or anything. I'm just like, okay. As I was going along, and when I write when I was writing the book, I had the beginning, the middle, and the end. So as I was going over in my head, I'm like, I should call it Soul Exchange because it's about like the battle of a soul. And I'm like, and also like the whole imagery of like having like one hand coming to try to grab it, another hand trying to go for it,
Mhm.
just have like the whole like soul in the middle of it, and that's how I came up with the concept. And my friend did it for me, and he like surpassed like what I had planned for the cover of the book.
So your friend was really able to
He
capture
was.
that concept that you have, and
Yes,
that's so
absolutely.
great. Can you please give us an overview of what the book is all about,
Sure.
and what emotions are you looking into, or did you imagine that your readers will draw after, or even while reading your book?
I was kind of the book is pretty much about it's just like a regular kid. He finishes high school, wants to go to college. He wants to, like most people want to help out their mom, want to help out their family members. He gets a girlfriend, wants to help out his girlfriend, wants to marry her. And then he meets a friend, and as so many times we're like, oh, I'll just do anything in the world to kind of like help out my family, my friends, anything like that, just to kind of get where I want to get to. He wasn't even thinking about himself, but he was thinking about about him. And so his friend was just like, would you do anything? He's like, of course I would do anything. He's like, you sure? He's like, yeah, of course I would. I would. So he's like, would you sell your? So he's like, whatever. You know how we all joke along. He's like, whatever. He's like, no, seriously, would you say so? He's like, will you just stop? Whatever. I'm not about that. He's like, would you say so? He's like, yes, I would sell my soul. And then from them is just like a completely downward spiral of everything. Like his life gets turned upside down. He has like a little breaks like in his life, but everything else in that is just like forget about it. Like it's just craziness. And I was kind of hoping, from what my friends and what my mom said after the book, is that like they were mad at some of the characters in there, which I was happy for because
Yes.
it was weird because when I was writing it, I was mad at the characters. I'm like, why would you do that? I'm the one writing the book and everything, but I was kind of hoping that people bring about, you know, a bit of happiness. There is some sad things. So I hope kind of they I brought across like the moment of like sadness for like in the book. I hope they can feel the sadness, the anger, and even like the relief of like things that had happened in the book. So I'm hoping that I express myself well in the book where they can feel like all those type of emotions and everything. That's what I'm kind of hoping for.
And I believe you did well. I mean, your mother was, as you've said, got mad at the character,
She
right? So
literally like
it's
cried.
just,
She cried at the book. I'm like I was
oh,
so worried. I was like terrified. She was like crying when I got home. I'm like, are you okay? Like her hands were shaking. I was like, what's wrong? Do we need to go to the hospital? She's like, no, you did such a great job. I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm like, are you sure you're right? She's like, no, I'm sure. I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, no, the book is great. I'm like, you sure it's about the book? She's like, yes. I'm like, oh, thank you. It was weird for me. I was like, okay, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, if we for sure we have readers that are watching us right now and would really want to immerse themselves into the book, the character, the story, and
Right.
you guys really have to make sure that you get a copy because
Yes,
it just
please.
speaks volume about our writer and the method of writing and the effectivity of it. So Clarice, before we go further, can you please tell our audience like where, for sure they're excited, where they can get a copy of your book?
Oh, absolutely. You can go to Target. You can go to Barnes and Nobles. You should be able to get one on eBay. I've heard like a lot of my friends tell me you can get it on eBay. You can also get it at Walmart too. So Target, Walmart, Barnes and Nobles, eBay. You can also go to like iTunes. I believe I'm not really familiar with the iTunes store, but it should be like iBooks. I believe in the iTunes store you can get it from there as well. It's on
So
Kindle, hardback, and paperback as well.
It's
And
everywhere. It's
yes,
everywhere. So I hope you were all able to get the as to where the information as to where we can get a copy of Clarence's book. And for sure, come November 8th, that's the start of the Festival of Storytellers. You will be able to see and hear more about Clarence Causby and his book. So this is just a teaser for you guys. And if you haven't registered yet as a fair goer, you still have time to do so. You just have to go to www.thefestivalofstorytellers.com. And before we end, Clarence, I'll give you this time to, talk to our audience and perhaps encourage them to get a copy of your book.
oh, thank you so much. I hope all you readers out there, that you really love like suspense, excitement. There's a lot of twists and turns in the book, not too much, but there's a lot of happiness inside it. Like it really grips you and like brings you in full ride. A lot of people have said that, that they couldn't stop, that they couldn't put the book down, that they kept going. I hope that's what it does for you too. I hope you really, really enjoy it. I do have a lot more books that I do plan on writing. So if you love this, like, please look forward to my next books and everything. And I hope even if you don't really like it, if it's okay, I hope you give my other books a chance too. But I'm really proud of this book, and I hope you guys like really enjoy it and love it as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Clarence. So there you have it, everyone. Clarence Cosby with his book, Soul Exchange. And thank you so much, Clarence, for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you for everything.
No problem. It's our pleasure. And we hope to see you come the Festival of Storytellers. For now, you take care, and we'll see you again soon.
Take care. Appreciate it.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.